Welcome back, everyone. So in this segment, we will be speaking with Shahroz's daughter, Zainab Dalla, and I'm very excited to have her recite her poetry because it's spoken word, it's very passionate, the topics are quite inspiring as well. So welcome, Zainab.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So the first question before we get started with your poetry is, what is it like to be the daughter of a zacchara?
It's a great experience. I get to see her doing some amazing work out in the world, and also, it's nice. Wherever I do go in the world, I can always introduce myself as Shahroz's daughter, and sometimes people, will be really shocked, like, oh my God, really? That's your mom? Like, I've met some people
And awestruck, right?
Yeah, of course. Like, I've just happened to be friends with some people when they find out that that's my mom. Like, I've had friends who are like, oh my God, call up your mom. Like, we want to speak to her. Like, we're fans. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so weird. I'm like, this is a woman who, like, yells at me to get up and, like, clean up my room and stuff. And,
she has fans?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Amazing. And also, I'm certain that you're probably held to a certain standard as well, being her daughter. Do you get feedback from people?
Yeah, it is really difficult too, especially like when I was younger, and even to this day, some people expect me to be a lot like her. Like, oh, are you going to be like your mom? Doing that same sort of thing, or
those expectations.
Yeah, exactly. Or expect me to be a lot more religious, to that extent. And it is hard because the way that you present yourself, it's like I have a duty, and a responsibility to present myself and to act in a way that honors her and the kind of person that she is. And so that's a lot of pressure on me as well. And, sometimes people will say a lot of negative things and there'll be a lot of criticism. And it's, I think, hard for people to remember that I am my own person. I'm going through my own journey. And, it's amazing that I have my mom there to guide me, but I have also made my own mistakes. And that doesn't,
it's not a reflection on her either.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways.
Definitely, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your spoken word and how you got into it.
Well, I had been writing poetry, I guess, just from when I was a young age. In middle school, we had like projects in which I would write poems, and they weren't exactly very
English
good.
class.
Yeah, I mean, there were like little things here and there, just kind of rhyming. And then as I got older, I would just write as a way to express my feelings, what I was going through, or just, I love to write. Writing was a huge passion of mine. I love to like write weird stories or just short stories,
like creative expression.
Exactly, yeah. And then there was a open mic at my school, and I had gone to attend the open mic, and I had this one poem that I had written, which was called Hate and War, which was when I started being introduced a lot to the war between like Palestine and Israel a lot more in the media, and just being more aware about it. I started to actually learn about facts and learning more about the history behind it. And so I wanted to just write about how I felt about it. And when I went up and presented it, it turned out that I was qualified to enter into this competition. And from there, it kind of snowballed, and I got a lot more confident just, talking about my poetry and talking about who I am as a person. And that's why I got also a lot more into public speaking.
That's amazing. So we would love to hear your work and your poetry today. So what are you sharing with us today?
Well, the first poem that I would like to share, it's called I Am a Terrorist. So I'll give just a bit of a backstory on this poem. It was actually in my business class, and our lesson that day was Islamic culture. We were talking about just how businesses have to know about the cultures of other countries when they're going into there and such. So, normal, relevant topic. And I was pretty excited because I was like, okay, like, there's a lot of things that people don't know about Islam and how it has expanded throughout the world. Even when we hear that there's like Spanish Muslims, a lot of people are like, what? That's a thing? And it's true.
Chinese Muslims,
exactly,
right?
That is a thing, right? And it's like people don't realize that Islam doesn't have a certain culture. It's a religion. You can be a white Muslim, you can be a black Muslim, you can, it doesn't coincide to one person, one culture, sorry. And he brought up a video from Vice, which was about ISIS. And so it showed all these beheadings, and of course it portrayed Islam in this terrible, terrible way. They had little kids who were being brainwashed to say certain stuff, and just a terrible video. Anyone would not condone what it is that ISIS does.
Yeah.
And he was associating that with Islam. And as soon as the video ended, all he said was like, okay, now we'll move on to the next topic. He didn't even take a minute to just talk about it or say like, what I'm trying to say here is this isn't a representation of it. And I remember me and my other friend just looked at each other throughout the class, and we were like, what
just happened?
Yeah, we were like, do we say something? Do we not? And then like after a while, like I put up my hand and I was like, this isn't Islamic culture. And we were like, what does this have to actually do with culture? Like, this is just some propaganda type video. Like, it has nothing to do with it. You know, and he obviously didn't have a way to kind of justify what he had done. And, you know, it just snowballed into this whole thing. And so after that, I had, you know, written a poem about how I felt about it and how I was affected by that situation.
Yeah.
So I can.
So this is it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm a girl. Let me try that again. Hey there, nice to meet you. I'm a Muslim. No, wait, that's not right. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm a terrorist. I'm sorry for Boston and Brussels, for Paris and 9/11, for making you uncomfortable in an airplane. Sorry for offending your culture by covering. Sorry that my dietary restrictions are a threat to your health, since apparently eating halal might cause you to catch a disease. Sorry for the KKK. Oh wait, that wasn't me. Sorry for inventing the toothbrush, because who wants good breath? For the clocks and coffee beans, the camera in which you take your selfies, founding the first university, the invention of chemistry and algebra. Okay, wait, I'm really sorry for that one. Damn you, Muslims. But what about Chapel Hill? For Dia, Yasur, and Razan? Do I gotta say sorry for that one too? But hey, what are you gonna do about parking disputes? I'm sorry to all of you. Pay me over with the brush called discrimination, color me in with the colors called generalization, and wash me out with the unbelievable concept of Islamophobia. I find it hilarious how people will tell me and assume that because I am a Muslim, I probably can't speak English, how the fact that my mother wears traditional Islamic clothing because that is what liberates her, she is automatically assumed as not knowing the Western tongue. See, I find it funny that I'm told I'm uneducated and probably had a hard time learning English, but y'all will mistake the S and the Z. And when it comes down to labeling me, I am a Muslim, not a Muslim. My religion is Islam, not Islam. Sorry for slamming about my Islam. Don't ask me if I take ESL classes when you can't differentiate the two letters of the alphabet. You see, it's the little things, the little S's and the Z's that make it seem that you want to keep denormalizing us and pushing it down and down further until we seem foreign. How can I be foreign in my own home? Why do I seem like a guest in my own home? But heck, what do I know? I'm just a terrorist. I'm sick of the backhanded compliments and shocked expressions, the ignorant questions like, but don't you get hot in the summer? Honey, no, I'm hot all the time. To the girl in my economics class who told me that I have nice headgear. Girl, do I look like a football player? But I guess when you're a terrorist, you're going to need some type of protection from the real oppressors. Or to my business teacher who taught us a lesson on Islamic culture, and instead he pulled up a video on the Islamic stage showing us the beheadings and brainwashing, whilst he himself brainwashed a room full of 30 my classmates and peers, telling them that this is my culture. So let me teach you a lesson of my own. The terrorist group that justifies their indescribable actions with my religion, even though they've never read a Quran, is not my culture. Religion is not culture, and so that over there is not my religion. So dear Donald Trump, dear people of the world, I'm sorry. Sorry for the sufferings and the massacres, the bombings and the bloodshed, the attacks and the hurt, but don't you know I'm hurting too? Don't you know it hurts too to stand up here and say sorry for something that I did not do? I am not a terrorist. Radical Islam is not a thing, because by saying that, you're still associating the terror with me. The only gun I've ever fired are the ones, the bullets called poetry. The only minefield I've ever dropped, the only bombs I've ever dropped are the ones that explode with kindness. Instead of dropping bombs, I drop mics. I don't want to come across full of vengeance and hatefulness. I'm just tired of speaking with no voice, tired of silently screaming. So let's try it again. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. I'm a girl, I'm a Muslim, my name is Zainab, and I'm not a terrorist.
Wow, amazing.
Wow,
amazing.
it gave me goosebumps.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
And I would say for someone to actually comprehend that,
Yeah.
they would need some type of intellect as well. Like, they have to know what's going around in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone could just listen to it and understand what's going on behind all of your words. But well done. No wonder you won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another one which your mom had mentioned to me earlier, which I would love to hear.
Oh, yeah.
It's the feminist one.
Yes.
Yeah, sort of. The title of it is called I Don't Need a Man. So in that sense, you know, I wanted to take more of a stance about just empowering yourself. You know, a lot of times, of course, like, you know, eventually then you do need a man in the sense that you want to get married, have children, have a partner, and share your life with someone. But it's the concept of how, you know, so many young girls feel that they're not happy or they're not someone until they find a man, you know, or
Yeah.
they don't feel validated, you know, until they have a man. And it's about defining your self-worth through a man. And so that's the main concept that I try to get through is to the, through this poem, is that you don't really need anyone, right? The only person that you need in this world is yourself and God, right? So
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am
for
anxious
sure.
to hear it. And just to build on what you said, until we're complete with ourselves, we're not going to be complete with anyone. So that is the first priority.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. It's like this quote actually by Cher that I saw in a video where she talks about how a man is a luxury. You know, it's like, I don't need a man. A man is just a, you know, an accessory. And it's like
An accessory.
It's a good attitude to have, you know, to realize that, yeah, I am someone too, right?
I'm complete within myself.
Exactly, yeah. Okay.
Take it away, Zainab.
Okay. Need to be happy, need to be fixed, need to be mended and stitched like a repair of your favorite jeans, need to be loved and cherished and important, need to forget about the screaming behind closed doors, and not even my tear-stained pillow can block out, need to forget, need validation, need self-worth, pity, hope, love, worth. I need a man, a boyfriend. Summer before 9th grade, me and my best friend are enjoying our days, but as any overdramatic preteen, every problem seems to be the end of the world, and as I pour out my soul and the tears start to flow, she says to me, you should get a boyfriend. Trust me, he'll fix everything. He'll make you smile and forget about the pain, forget about the drama, and help you become sane. But she forgot to mention about the attachment and the heartbreak, the worrying and the confusion. She didn't warn me about the destruction, how he becomes your happiness and your sadness. And she didn't tell me that I would never be good enough. And so without reading the fine print on the label, I opened my heart, desperate for a love to ease my worries, a love to validate my existence. From that moment on, I became obsessed and depressed, believing I needed a man in my life to make me happy. And when men didn't like me, I said it was because there was something wrong with me. And so I looked deep down at the flaws within me, picking at each and every aspect of my ever-so-loving personality. And then I found someone who made me feel special, someone who gave me a feeling that I can't even describe, made me feel things that not even poetry can do justice. It was that relationship type love, that talk on the phone all night kind of love, that playing with my hair and holding me close kind of love. Time stopped and all that mattered was him, me and him, us. And just as quickly as I fell, time started, the clock started ticking, and all the noise around that I used to block out came back, and he left. Every feeling, every moment he took with him, I needed him, and it killed me inside that I would never find the one. Killed me that every man in my life always turns out to be a boy, and I am tired of having to let my walls down and lessen my womanhood to make a man feel happy. I am tired of praising a man to make him feel good when I should be praising myself. I don't need a man, and I do not need him. I do not need his black hair, curly mess, and threatening chocolate brown eyes to feel something inside. And as much as it hurts to be with him and not with him at the same time, to make myself go insane with the lies, games, humiliations, and desperations, I have to thank him. I want to thank you, Mr. Wrong. Thank you for allowing me to love myself. I am a strong, independent woman, and heck, I love myself, and I'm proud. I deserve to be praised for my independence and my intelligence, my beauty. Now, I'm not talking about that physical beauty. I'm talking about that spiritual beauty. I couldn't care less if you don't like my booty because I'm still a cutie. And if a man can't see the good that he has in front of him, then he is the one who is blinded by love, blinded because he can't love. He doesn't know what it is to love, to appreciate a woman who gives him her all. I don't need a man. You do not need a man. Stop looking for a guy over 6 feet and stand up tall on your own. Enough of that. Need a bae to take me here and go your damn self. It's time we start embracing our individuality and loving the independence. Anyone who tells you that you need a partner to make you feel wanted has never experienced a love from within. As of right now, I don't need a man. I only need myself. I don't need a man to make me feel special. A man needs me to make him a true man. A man who lets down his walls and lets a strong woman in, not intimidated by her womanhood or her intelligence. I only wish I had realized sooner and rewind back to 2011 where I looked that naive young girl straight in her eyes and tell her, I do not need a man.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank
And
you.
what a great way to end off our segment on, wow, women of wonder. Thank you so much, Zainab. Thank you so much, Sharos, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Amazing. You can watch the Mani and Fariha show, our show, every Friday at 7 p.m. at Toronto360.tv. And our show gets repeated, so just in case if you miss it, you can always catch us again on Saturday at 1 p.m. and Monday at 3 p.m. at Toronto360.tv.
That's
We'll
it.
be there.
Until next time, goodbye.
See ya.